We're sticking with tariffs. We're back in the States, or coming back to the States, I guess, as Trump's proposed pharmaceutical tariffs, which will hopefully mean they'll actually manufacture these drugs here in the States, will basically shut down operations and have shortages. Now, Donald Trump has proposed tariffs on pharmaceutical imports as well, extra on those things, basically as a way to have people buy stuff here that is made here. It makes sense. If things are more expensive out there, then you would buy more domestically. If Hunt's tomato sauce all of a sudden costs too much extra, then I'd more likely buy more of the store brand. But here's how that analogy doesn't work out. I'm going to buy the store brand anyway because of the pennies I'm saving, because I know that store brand is canned by Hunt's anyway. They just put a little less sugar, a little more pepper or something like that, so it's different. And I'm going to take it home and I'm going to butcher it up the way I want to. I'm gonna add my own spices to it, so it doesn't make a difference what I'm getting. And I save it may be 20 cents a can. If you really think about it, at added time, it makes a difference, especially if you're a larger consumer looking for things on that end. For the pharmaceuticals, for the drugs that are basically we're importing at such a low cost, most of them are generics that don't actually make much money anyway. So if you have a generic drug that's being produced in Pakistan, for example, just a place that I know we're doing a tariff on, it will cost a little more to get that generic drug, and someone here in the States can produce it for a lesser cost. There's that. But in most cases here in the States, they're not producing a lot of it because they're not making a lot of money off it, just enough to make sure they're in the market and can be somebody near where they can basically input their new drug. The Pakistanis will say, hey, this is not worth it because we're not making that much money. The tariffs are raising the cost of it. We're going to stop. And the U.S. manufacturer, who doesn't want to make more of it because it doesn't make them any money, will probably either raise the cost to what Pakistan would have charged you, so it's going to cost more, and not make as much anyway. That's how tariffs work, and that's how it worked here for your pharmaceuticals. So adding 25% to the imported medications from China, India, and Ireland, for example, would essentially mean China, India, and Ireland, and India and China, said those things 3 times, would probably just stop producing it because it's not worth the money, or sell it to other folks at the same price with more stuff and have their supply be bigger. And then we buy it from those countries and we pay extra going forward. This is the problem with the markets and how things work out. It's not as simple as if buy low, sell high. There are conditions that we make to make things lower or higher based on how we want markets to manipulate, how we want to buy stuff, and just how great things are. Someone from another nation can create this great thing, which is awesome, and we may buy it because we love it, what's going ever. But we may have comparable things here in the States that we don't want to be rushed out. We don't want cheap goods. We don't want purely cheap goods that are terrible and break all the time, so we're forced to buy stuff, although we actually kind of do want that stuff, but we do want them better made. But tariffs on everything become issues, and companies like Novartis is saying that, hey, adding money to the cost of what I have going here will make things harder for us to do this stuff. And, oh, by the way, building a plant in the States, by the time we get those things up and running, you won't be president anymore. Or you shouldn't be president anymore, Donald Trump, because it'll take about 5 years or so to get these things up and running and get them into the pipeline. So you shouldn't be president anymore. Keep that in the back of your mind. Just keep that in the back of your mind.